Hi everybody, it's Maya Zahira here, and I wanted to just jump on and answer a question that we had in our recent Facebook Live, and so I'm doing another Facebook Live. And the topic that I want to cover is sleep paralysis. So, before we jump into that, I wanted to just let you know that on the Facebook Live that I did, I was not able to see any comments coming in, and so this is also a test to see if any comments show up right now. And right now, I'm not getting any. So, if you are watching, can you go ahead and leave? Just start typing stuff. Leave me a comment, smiley face, etc. I want to see if there's something going on with my system. So I am outside. It's a little bit breezy. I hope it's not too breezy. Actually, I want to fix the comments issue because I would like to jump on every Monday at 6. I'd like to, instead of once a month, maybe once a week, and do a live Q&A. But we need to make sure that the comments are working in order to do that. So far, no comments. Okay, so the question was, what are my opinions about sleep paralysis? So sleep paralysis. Okay, yay! We have comments. Good. Okay, I just got a comment. I just see one comment, so if there have been more comments, then I'm missing some, but I'm so excited. There's a comment. The Facebook Live that I just did, there were like 16 comments and different people asking questions, and I could not see any of it. It was like totally silent on this end. Anyway, so going on. So sleep paralysis is, it can actually occur because of a couple different things. So what it is at night, where you wake up and you can't move. So sleep paralysis, okay? So sometimes it can actually be because you were astral traveling in your sleep, and so your astral body left and you were on your own little journeys, and when you come back into your body, sometimes you have a hard landing, so to speak. And actually, if you have a hard landing, sometimes that will jolt you awake. And if you're not fully aligned in your, if your astral body is not fully aligned into your physical body, then you won't be able to move. And you'll be maybe even not fully awake. And so everything isn't really lined up fully. And so sometimes you have to just lay there for a little while until everything lines up, and then you can start to move again. So that's one reason. That's actually very common, is sleep paralysis can be caused by astral traveling and not your astral body not fully coming back into your body, into your physical body. And then, so if that just happens randomly, if you have sleep paralysis, don't assume that you're under psychic attack or entity attack. It could just be that you astral travel a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you wake up and there is a dark presence sitting on your chest and you can't move, that would also be considered sleep paralysis, and that is obviously an attack. And so obviously then there's then obviously that's a negative experience, right? The first experience related to astral travel, there's really nothing negative about that, although it can be scary for people if they don't know what's happening. And it can just bring feelings of terror because you can't move and you don't understand what's going on. Okay. Oh, and here we've got a question here. During sleep paralysis, I have experienced something holding down both hands and tapping on my chest. It was terrifying. It changed my life. I am so scared of it happening again. Nicole Weissman, thank you for sharing that, and I'm so sorry that has happened. I have found there's really not much that you can do in the moment when it's happening, except to exert your own power and your sovereignty. So like your will being stronger than it. So rather than just going, oh my God, what do I, yeah, and just like laying there, you like call forth all of your anger, all of your will, and you say, no, this is not allowed. Now, you may or may not still be paralyzed, but like that's literally the only thing that you can do with any type of attack, and with one that is involving sleep paralysis, is to like call forth every bit of your inner power and even anger, and to yell no. Or maybe you can't speak, but you feel that power within you and send it out psychically. Send out that psychic no. Not allowed. Not allowed. Okay? So that's really the only thing that can be done in the moment. However, there are a lot of things that you can do preventatively to protect yourself at night. So before I go into some of those, let's see what this other comment is. Oh, are only bad things going to do that to me, or loved ones? That is a really good question. So thank you, Nicole. It's very unlikely that loved ones are going to cause sleep paralysis, that they're going to be on your chest or pressing down on you. And I've actually never known of a case where it was something positive. But there's always room for something that I don't know about yet. But I'm going to say 99.9999999% of the time, it is something negative. You can assume that it is a negative presence. Okay? So, some things that you can do to protect yourself at night. And some of these things might seem a little weird, but they work for people and they work for me. I've experienced attacks at night. That's just a time when you're really vulnerable. And so you can't, your conscious mind isn't conscious, so you can't protect yourself. So one of my favorite things to do is to put salt, like just regular salt, under my pillow. And I don't move my pillows around a whole bunch, so I just put it, like when I make my bed, like I wash my bed every week and then put my sheets on, and before I put the pillows on top, I just pour, I've got, the like iodized salt or whatever from the dollar store. I just pour some, and then I lay my pillows on top of that. There was one person who said, oh, they don't want to do that. They toss and turn a lot at night, and there's going to be salt in their bed. So you could take an extra pillow cover, and put the salt in that, and then put that underneath your pillows. That way it's not loose. I like it loose. It doesn't really get in my bed because I don't toss and turn too much. That works like a charm, no pun intended. That works really well because salt actually discharges spiritual energy. So it's excellent. It works so well. I had an experience where I was doing a house clearing with one of my students, and we were in a basement where there were thousands of trapped souls. And when I started working on releasing them into the light, some of them got confused, and they started a whole bunch of them started trying to come into me, in through my back. And thank goodness my assistant was there with me. I shouted at her, throw salt at my back, throw salt at my back. And she started throwing salt down my, at my back and down my shirt. And that stopped it. Instantly stopped it. Thank goodness. So salt is amazing. It discharges spiritual energy like that. So it is harder for a spirit to, it's harder for it to attack you if you're laying on salt. It just is. Not that an attack couldn't happen, but it is harder for it to accomplish it. Okay. That's actually the most effective. Honestly, if I just gave you one thing, it's the salt. But there are other things, wearing a protective amulet, a necklace of some kind that has something that's very powerful for you. Everyone's different. And then not just something that you think is cool, but like that actually has power for you. Okay. So it can be some kind of a religious symbol. It could be, a symbol that's for protection. It could be a particular type of gemstone, etc. What else? The third thing, I'll just give 3 tips here today. The third thing is frankincense is very powerful. It's used for exorcism. And so using some frankincense essential oil and just putting a couple of drops, a drop or 2 into the palm of your hand, and then take your finger of your other hand and dab it into the oil, and then just tap some onto the top of your head. You can use the straight oil. You don't have to put it in a carrier oil. You don't have to dilute it. Just use the straight oil and just tap some onto your crown. You can also put some here over your intuitive center, your brow chakra, anywhere else. But I have found that the 2 most important for protecting yourself while you sleep are this one. This is going to help hold your, it just helps you stay connected with your soul. And then this one is going to help protect it's going to help balance your intuitive center. I know this sounds really scary here, what I'm going to say, but I had an experience where an entity I woke up and it was above me, and it reached in and tried to tear my soul out of my body. And that story is in my book, Darkness Disguised as Light. And the thing that I did after that for several months was, I did the salt in my bed. But what I did to really make sure that my soul stayed in my body, and that in the middle of the night something couldn't come and just tear it out, which is a terrifying thought, right? So I would take frankincense and I would dab it onto the top of my head. And that, to me, for me, that I really just knew that helped to align all of my energy and to hold my soul into my body in a very aligned sort of way. It acted as protection. So I hope those 3 tips help. So we've got some information about what sleep paralysis is, what it can be. It can be something that's no big deal. It's just a little bit unsettling, or it can be part of an entity attack. And then if there are signs, if you have any worries at all that it could be related to an entity attack, even if you're not sure, maybe it could be astral travel, you're not sure, you want to be comfortable, then you can totally go ahead and use some protective tools at night. Let me just add to the salt, if you really want to be even more protected, I said you could put it under your pillow, but you could also open up the spigot of the salt container and just pour it in a circle or a rectangle around your bed. I say rectangle because your bed is shaped as like a rectangle, but you could also, depending on how big your room is and if there's other furniture in the way, a circle, doing a big circle is very protective, a big circle of salt, very, very protective. But if you could just surround your bed with a line of salt, like with a rectangle of salt around the boundaries of your bed, that is also very protective. For me, I have pets, and they would mess with the salt, and then there wouldn't be a closed rectangle anymore. But you could try doing that as well as putting salt in the corners of your bedroom. But really the most direct way would be to put some right under your pillow. And honestly, I remember after that experience a couple years ago where I was attacked at night by that entity that tried to pull my soul out of my body, and I was paralyzed when that happened. I couldn't move. After that, I was pouring salt in my whole bed. So I was sleeping on salt. It was kind of weird. I would roll over, and I would get up in the morning, I'd have salt stuck to my arm. Because I poured it all into my bed. You don't have to do that unless you really feel like you're under major attack. You can just put it under your pillow. Okay, you guys, this was awesome. I'm so glad I was able to see comments this time. And I'm really glad I was able to answer your questions, Nicole. As always, I will make announcements about when the next Facebook Live is. And I'm kind of in flux as to whether I might want to do more. I'm just real careful with making sure that my schedule stays in balance. I would love to do Q&A once a week. That would be so awesome. But I'm not sure if I can. I want to make sure I don't overschedule. So we know for sure that we'll continue to do once a month on the first Monday at 6 p.m. Central. And any time we're going to do anything extra, I will always post announcements. So everybody have a wonderful evening. Until next time, sending you all my love.